Welcome to Phoenix Fire Station 9. It's located in the center of the city at 4th Street, just south of Indian School Road. It's home to 11 firefighters. They staff Engine 9, Ladder 9, and an ambulance called Rescue 9. All of the departments in the valley utilize a 24 hours on, 48 hours off crew rotation. And the different rotations are called A, B, and C shifts. This day, we're riding with A shift. And while all three shifts have a different flavor or feel to them, it's A group that seems to take their pride and competitiveness most seriously.
I'm just happy to be on A shift. I was a B shifter for about 8 years, and then I saw the light and came over to A shift too. So, you know, it's a good thing. We enjoy it on A shift. We have a reputation to uphold. So,
is it the best shift?
Yes, it is. I don't want to be humble about it, but yes, it is. In my humble opinion. Right, JT?
Yes, it is.
Okay. We just got JT here. We were lucky to get him. He was working on C shift, and the spot came open here on A shift, and he wanted to be an A shifter, so we've got him. So we're fitting him for his cape. He hasn't got it yet. He hasn't been here long enough, but next week, JT, cape's coming in.
Should be ready.
So,
it's ready at the shop.
So he'll be an official A shifter by next week because he'll have his cape.
Glad to be here.
Anything can happen during the course of a 24-hour shift. So being prepared is the key, and physical training is part of being prepared. In addition to residential and commercial buildings, Station 9's area has high-rise and low-rise buildings in it. These buildings present different challenges to firefighters than the average residence does. One of those challenges is stairs. Lots and lots of stairs.
Since we're in a high-rise area, we like to try and do the stairs. We do 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 laps, and you know, just a little PT in the morning. We go over to Executive Towers right across the street over there off Central, and we go up, and some of the guys come down the elevators. We just go up and down until we get tired of doing it.
The whole time the crew from Engine 9 is doing this physical training, they're available for emergency calls and can be reached on their portable radios.
Hey.
Like any station, there's advantages and disadvantages. This is an advantage for our station because we get to come up here and check this out.
These guys will make several trips up and down this 22-story building before they're finished. Engine 9's first call for help comes just as they are finishing their stair workout.
Engine 9 responding. We're going on an ill person. The timing was right. We had just come down the stairs, so. It's a 50-year-old male. Patient vomiting, nausea since last night, history of renal failure. Can't get out of bed. Doors unlocked.
And the workout continues. One more flight of stairs.
Have you been sick since yesterday, Jeff? You've been sick for a couple days.
The man who called was recently in the hospital and is now very sick to his stomach, and he lives alone. The paramedics check him out. Because of his medical history and his present condition, the medics decide to transport him to the hospital.
Dispatch rescue code 2.
Rescue code 2.
Rescue 9 from Station 9 gets the call and arrives shortly. The next dispatch the crew of Engine 9 receives is to check out bees in a parking lot at a nearby Walgreens. There are definitely a lot of bees up in a tree, but Captain Burks explains to concerned citizens that they're not aggressive and not hurting anyone. So the plan is just simply to leave them alone.
We're going on a chest pain. It's a 55-year-old male that took 1 nitro approximately 3 minutes ago. And it says no relief. So we'll go check this out.
A man who works upstairs in this building is having chest pain and thinks he may be having a heart attack. Paramedics J.T. Thomason and Jason Rideau go to work on him, while Captain Burks documents everything that's being done. Engineer Tom McCracken assists the medics with everything they need. The patient is not stable, so a rescue is requested to come and take him to the hospital. Once again, Rescue 9 gets the call, and firefighters Steve Bayless and Paul Ebbing arrive to help.
This man said that he has had chest pain before, but he's also had mini strokes, and in this case he was probably having some chest pain. He said normally it's pressure in his chest, but this time it felt like a sharp pain in the shoulder. So it was a little different for him. Apparently he's been putting it off, calling 911. That's why he took the nitro. His blood pressure went way down, and that's when he was starting to feel faint. So now we're dealing with him. They got an IV in him. They got the monitor on him, put O2 on him, and then we're going to take him over to St. Joe's for about 3 minutes. Yeah, his eyes were rolling back.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, he was passed out.
Okay, going to St. Joe's.
All right, we'll be right there.
Okay.
We'll be right there.
Cook it up, huh?
Later on, it's lunchtime at the station, and it was the crew from Ladder 9's turn to cook.
I'm actually sharing that with the rest of the table.
And the crews from the engine, the ladder, and the rescue all get to eat together on this day.
Engine 9 alarm.
Engine 9, go ahead.
Have the rescue respond 1 street north, and he'll open the back gate up. It's in the back of this complex.
The next dispatch is an overdose.
What, the
A
Oxycontin
teenage
or the
girl has
Oxycontin?
apparently overdosed some of her mother's and her own medication, and she's cut her wrist.
This is the first time, from what the family tells us, that she's had any kind of suicidal activity. But in any case, when someone is suicidal, it's a standard protocol that we're going to take them over to the hospital. We'll start an IV on them, and what we give her on this call is some activated charcoal. What that'll do is it works with the medicine in her stomach to cause the medicine to hold together to slow the rate of absorption into her system.
And let's see, this was filled.
The cut on her arm was basically superficial lacerations that she has there, but to us that tells us that she's trying more than one way at an attempt to harm herself. When we go on these overdose calls, sometimes someone has, however the accident happened, they forgot they took a dose of their medicine, they've taken too much of their medicine for whatever reason. If the person is suicidal, that's a whole different scenario, because if they're suicidal, then they have to go in. When we see the cuts on the arm, that's a further indicator that she's trying multiple ways to harm herself.
We're going on a 962, which is an auto accident.
This call is reported as 4 vehicles involved on 7th Street.
2131 out of Station 1.
Hold on a minute, guys.
Hi there.
Once on scene, Engine 9's crew finds that none of the injuries appear to be serious. However, one man is complaining of a sore chest after being hit by his car's airbag. The paramedics find out he also recently received a pacemaker. So in a precautionary move, they convince him to go by ambulance to the hospital for a more thorough checkup. Rescue 9 gets the call.
The airbags did what they were supposed to do on that. It kept him from hitting the steering wheel, but also at the same time it hit him in the chest, and he was sore in the chest area, and then he was also wearing a seatbelt. So he didn't hit his face on the steering wheel, but the airbag still did a little bit of damage to his chest.
On their way back to the station, Engine 9 gets a call for another car wreck.
Engine 9 alarm. We're responding with ladder 9.
This one is a 2-car accident on Central Avenue and Osborne Road. A pickup is upside down, and a Ford Mustang is heavily smashed.
Which one, buddy?
Both these guys, 5 got him, the one laying down where Steve's at.
That's the one we got?
Yeah, he was the passenger in this vehicle right here.
Okay.
And basically, he's got a head trauma.
Okay.
He's alert and oriented. They got out by themselves, but we're going to make him immediates from the injuries.
So he was out when you guys got here?
Yeah, laying right there.
Good enough.
See the hematoma on
Yeah.
his forehead, and he's got a lack up on the right side on the top of his head.
Okay, I'll just take this.
Yeah, he never lost consciousness. There's his first set of vitals right there.
Thank you, buddy.
He's been totally pumped, but he's got a pretty good back right
Some blood from it. What we responded on here was a auto accident, what we call a 962. This truck here rolled over. Both passengers were unrestrained. On fire department arrival, ladder 9, they were both out of the vehicle because of the damage done to the truck and the injuries that they were complaining of. We sent them both immediates to St. Joseph's Hospital. The second vehicle over here, this lady, pretty heavy damage to her car also, but she was restrained and she's not really complaining much, but light back pain. so she'll be delayed. All going to the hospital.
What you learn when you ride with Station 9 is that anything can happen anywhere. For Phoenix Fireworks, I'm Shelley Jameson.
And what's the ETA?